Hi, I'm Zainab Salloo. As SAICA's Assurance Guidance Committee Chairperson, I'm very happy to be here today to share with you an update on our last quarterly meeting for 2021. If you've been following my updates, you would have seen that we started off the year by setting a task plan for the committee to achieve, and that was aimed at providing guidance on a number of different things, including what's the impact of COVID-19 on auditors, talking to inspection findings from the IRBA, etc., and just looking at things that were gaps in guidance that practitioners needed. We had a number of task groups set up throughout the year and worked really hard throughout the year to achieve on this task plan that we set out. And I'm really glad to share with you that we actually have a number of things that have come out across the year and a number of things that are coming. From my last update, I think there's a couple of things to look out for. You would have seen, and I think I shared this in my last update, but we had a seminar on ISA 315, which is a new standard on risk assessment that's effective for year ends ending after 15 December 2021. We also had a tech talk, which was covering cash flow statements, and that was a joint effort between the SAICA accounting or reporting team as well as the assurance team. And these were really in response to IRBA inspection findings around cash flow statements. What you can look out for in the coming months is a number of accountancy essay articles, and these were joint efforts among the different task groups. The topics to look out for is fraud, and we've looked at a fraud scenario specifically in an environment, 2 years into COVID-19 and what you could expect. We also have an accountancy essay article on the role of engagement quality control reviewers, specifically with respect to the review of financial statements. And finally, an accountancy essay article on common errors in audit reports, and that's a particularly practical and useful one, I think, and again, in response to IRBA inspection findings. So I'd urge you to have a look at that as you go into signing your year-end audit reports. Looking at things that will also be coming up in the FAQ space. As you know, SAICA puts out assurance FAQs, which really aim to deal with very complex areas that practitioners are struggling with and that the IRBA is picking up in inspection findings as well. We have a suite of FAQs that are coming out, some of them updates to existing FAQs, but also new FAQs. Specifically, I would look out for communication around FAQs 10, 11, and 12. These deal with the audit of revenue, specifically the completeness of revenue. And we've gone in a little bit of a different direction this time around, where we actually took the theory, unpacked what the standards say around the requirements, and then worked that into a practical example. So I'm hoping that you will find that really useful if you've been struggling with questions around completeness of revenue, which we all have been for a while. I think it's been a really, really productive year, and we did dwell in our last meeting on a couple of things to look out for and plan for in the next year. So some of the things to look out for in my future updates in the new year will be quality management standards. We've been brainstorming a couple of ideas on how to actually get the messages across to you as the practitioners and help you understand what the new quality management standards mean. As you know, those become effective for years ended 15 December 2022. So it's really quite imminent. We also will be looking at ISA 600, again, going to be effective in December 2022, and that's the new group audit standard. And then finally, we've been talking a bit about less complex entities and setting up a new task group to actually comment on the ISSB's exposure draft on audits of less complex entities. So there's a lot happening. We've done a lot in the last year, but there's a lot also coming, and we're looking forward to the next year. That's it for my update in terms of the last AGC meeting. I just want to end off by saying thank you to all the task group members and the committee members who've made this year really productive and really fruitful. And also, I wish you all well over the holiday season and hope to see you in the new year. Until then, goodbye.